Oh yeah, YouTube baby. Woo! Here we are, Rough Road 100 2023. Here we are at the start. There was about 550-ish people or so. So the start got pretty hectic. Everybody in the USAC and the open categories were kind of bunched together, so there was a lot of sorting at the front. So you can see everyone's kind of trying to jockey for position and rush up the hill or up the first bridge. I started a little bit late. I got there a little bit late, so I didn't have time to do a proper warm-up. So struggling up that first bridge was not fun. And so here we are after the lead car kind of took off, and everyone's right here just kind of, you know, starting to find their pack and, you know, try and catch up to one of the front groups. Here we are. I caught up to my buddy Wilfred, who is also a teammate of mine. And then, so the headwinds were brutal. There were 25 mile an hour sustained winds with like 40, 45 mile an hour gusts. So, I mean, there was times where we're going like 6 miles an hour. As you can see here, everyone's kind of jamming on their brakes, and just people at the front, they're just pulling as hard as they can. We tried for a little while to get some rotations, but it's hard to get people to work in those conditions, so didn't get a whole lot of those. So finally here we get a little bit of reprieve from the wind. This little neighborhood section was mostly downhill, which was great. Everyone got a little chance to recover, you know, get a little bit of food or a gel in, take some of their drink, whatever they had on them. And then we come to the first big descent, which was perfect time for everyone to recover. Just kind of sit there and not spin your legs for a minute. It was very nice. This was not a wind section. It was kind of shielded with, you know, the hills on either side and the trees and the houses. So there was no wind through this little section. There were not many of sections like that. Most of everything had some kind of wind, whether it was a head, a cross, or a tail. Tailwind sections were, to say, very nice. You can go 30 miles an hour with very little watts. Here we come up to the first hill. I'm sorry, this is the second hill. I called it a wall because it looked like a wall when you approached it. You could, very little chatting going on here, but good talks, good group of people that I was with. Everybody worked well together, taking turns. So here we are on the canal. It's about a 10 or so mile canal. It was very wet because we had a bunch of storms and rain. As you can see, the tree down here. So it was good enough to ride, but there were some very soupy, peanut buttery spots that just kind of sucked all your power out of you. This section had somewhat of a tailwind. It was pretty shielded because of all the trees, but there was a little bit of a tailwind, so you know you could hold 16 or so miles an hour without putting out too many watts. So, yep, here we are. We got another down tree. I believe there were two altogether. The first down tree looked like everyone kind of struggled to get off their bike and over the tree and back on their bike. You know, sitting on your bike for 3 hours or so, 3.5 hours, gets kind of tough to move. But that second tree, everybody was moving a little bit better. Big shout out to this guy. I didn't get his name, but if you're watching this, leave a comment below. I want to give you a personal thanks. Him and I worked together for, I would say, the most of the last half of the race, taking turns, switching off, pulling each other. So it was tough. So whoever you are, thank you so much. This is a cool little bridge section. A couple of people on the sidelines taking pictures, kind of rooting everybody on. So yeah, it's an awesome canal section. And then here, it's another teammate of mine, Patrick Lino, famous YouTuber, kind of blew past me. I didn't get a chance to turn my GoPro on soon enough, but he kind of flew past me. Here we are at the finish, 3 hours and 57 minutes. I crossed the finish line just under the 4-hour threshold. I'm just kind of zooming in, turn around real quick, and I run into a teammate of mine, Elvin Chan, mostly a gravel racer and mountain biker, but he was here. I believe he did the shorter 36 miler, so he just kind of hung out, talked to people as they came in, filling me in a little bit about who came in. Patrick came in a minute before. Then a little fast forward here as I run to the bathroom. Alright, I am now headed over to grab a beer, slice pizza, and chat with a few teammates, kind of unwind from the day. And then change into some warmer clothes and hang out for a bit. It was a good crowd, lots of cool people just hanging around talking about the race. So it was good times. And this is me after the race, contemplating life choices. And this is the bike that I ran. It is a 2022 Kona Jake the Snake. I will do a full bike review in a later video, but this is just a quick view of kind of the setup I ran for this race. So that was Rough Road 100 2023. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like the video, and share. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.